Welcome to a Monday episode of Vaygrim's Chance. This is going to be going up late. I am sorry for that. I've had some other stuff come up in regards to the second channel. I'll go into it later in a blog. If you are interested in seeing what happens in the real life stuff, go over to youtube.com/VaygrimsRest and take a look. I'll have a video up later. Okay, so a lot of people commented on a lot of things. First of all, I want to make sure everybody knows I am not going for the premium or best or most effective route. I have an idea for a build and I want to do it that way. That's why I'm using Ender.io spawners. Now, I do realize that I could replace the Ender.io spawner with a MFR spawner and spawn wither skeletons in the overworld. It's not an issue. The problem is, if I do that, I have to have a source for monster essence to feed it, which means that I have to use an MFR grinder, which means I lose the benefits of actually having the skull. I mean, the Ender sword in Killer Joe and getting all the heads as extras and stuff like that. It also means that the grinder will do damage to an Enderman and potentially make them warp if it doesn't kill them in one shot. There's a lot of ramifications to stuff like that, so there's a reason I'm going with an all Ender.io build. It's okay. I'll do withers and I'll do withers in the end, and I'll do everything else in the overworld, even blazes. It's cool. Second thing is the liquid essence and stuff like that. People told me I can keep the experience in this thing. I do realize that. They also said that I could, if I wanted to, pipe it out of this, which is awesome, and I can pipe it out of Killer Joe. But putting it into this turns it into liquid essence, and I think it turns it into a liquid form of experience. Sorry. And I think that means, if that's true, that I could pipe it into other stuff like open blocks, that machines that use liquid experience, or I might be able to even pump it into MFR machines. I'm not sure. I'm going to experiment with that. After I get the build up and going, I'll experiment and see what I can do with this liquid form of experience. If I could feed it into an MFR grinder, then we'll tack withers on at the end. Yeah. So let's go upstairs real quick. Of course, it's nighttime. It's always nighttime. I firmly believe that nighttime is 3 times longer than daytime in 1.7.10. It sure seems that way. I'm going to put that over there. So, let's see what is happening. Oh, somebody commented that I can take off and turn the TARDIS. I can just change the direction the TARDIS is facing and take off and land at the same coordinates. If you have a low-level TARDIS, you cannot take off and land at the same coordinates. You take off and land like 30 feet away or 100 feet away. It's in a good spot. I'd rather leave it there. I have been making some progress on the Monster Dome, as it's been called. First of all, I'd like to say thank you very much, Trunks9809. Trunks basically pointed out the fact that there is a recipe. I think it's for a blaze spawner. Nope. Spawner. Let's see. Recipe. Yep. You can actually get a witherproof block from magical crops, surround it by blaze essence, and make a blaze spawner. Now, that's the only spawner there's a recipe for in magical crops, which is interesting. But he basically has the actual blaze seeds. He's that far along in magical crops. So he made me 16 broken spawners. They're all blaze spawners that I can actually use. He even gave me a couple of his spare powered spawners because he can just come over here and use my setup. And he basically made sure that I have capability to make all the spawners that we need to make, which is awesome. So here is the actual build. I've got these columns of enlightened clear glass just to light the room up some. Got a band up here lighting it up. And then over here, I have a screen. This is an MFR screen using a button module. There's a screen controller behind it, really nice and simple. Down here, I have remote storage that's being powered. And that is the storage module that's being used over here, as well as down there. This is the output, basically, right now. Anything comes through here, unless it's got a place in the other side. Let me see if I can just... actually, I don't need to. It's not in the middle anymore. Hang on a sec. Okay, so stuff comes in here. This is the default destination if it has no other place on the logistics pipes network. It comes over here. It gets inserted into the storage drawers if it's got a place in the storage drawers. If it doesn't, then it goes here and it gets filed in the main LP system back in the central tower. What that means is all of this is hooked up to the rest of the LP system. I've gotten all of the bones, all of the spider eyes and string, and all the skulls and all the heads and slime balls and everything. Even I haven't relocated Minicio Essence, and I actually think I'm going to undo that because it has a place in the central tower. Let's get this and do boop, boop, boop. There we go. And relock that. Everything else is going to have a place here. I'm going to relocate Ender Pearls over here. Slime essences and everything else that comes from, or slime balls, everything that comes from a monster will be here on this wall. If it doesn't have a place anywhere, it gets stored here. What you see here is an alchemical chest that's actually got like leather pants, golden helmet. A lot of the armor stuff is going to show up in here. And because it's an alchemical chest, these repair talisman will tick away and make sure that these things are actually getting repaired. So I will have a selection of equipment that I can actually provide to the base, to the trade depot, I can sell off. Now, even if the other players don't use it, they might want to have some equipment for, let's say, putting armor on mannequins that they want to man their base with. There's a lot of possibilities here. And so I'm just going to make it publicly available once I get my trade depot spot up and going. Okay. We only have zombies right now. There's little holes down here. Whee! Okay. And this side is lit up by these orbs. And if you notice right here, if I hit this, I get a solid thing. Now, there is a spot over around that spawner. Basically, that's a vacuum chest. And the vacuum chest does actually, it's transparent, so it leaks light. What I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to check this and look. This requires a signal to be active. So I'm going to come over here. It just took my thing. We actually have a item duct from Thermal Dynamics. What I would need to do is get do we actually have? We do. Let's get, I'm going to request one of those. And I'm going to request one of those. Okay, perfect. Let's put this back, swap it out for this. I need to basically try and find a way to limit the light that is leaking through into this system. Now, what I can actually do, I think, is, oh, no. This doesn't work. I need covers. Structural, whatever. Hang on a sec. Oop, that just disappeared also. Okay. Let's go up here real quick. Get away from the actual vacuum chest. And, yep, that stuff got sorted with the main system. Let's go back real quick. I actually have some covers that we can use from the central tower that are structural duct covers specifically to use thermal expansion stuff. Honestly, if I can't get those to block against light, let's sort those. Where did the dark glass go? Do I have? Oh, I have some spare on me. Never mind. I don't have to worry about that. I actually do have. I have some spares right there. I have some spare factory blocks on me. The only thing I need to get rid of right now is, let's see, structural duct. I need one of those. Boop. I'm going to get one of these. Put these together, and I'm going to get a whole bunch of those. Now, in theory, I'm going to go over here and see if this will help me block the light. I'm really hoping that you guys are finding inspiration in this build, at least a little bit, because let's do that. And then I want to get a block. Is that going to help at all? No. Okay, so my next task is going to be item ducts, so I can swap out, because if I put a conduit facade over an item duct, it actually blocks light, which means I won't have this light leak down here. Now, what I could do is, let's go. I can get, boop, boop, let's see. There we go. So that blocks it completely. For now, if we want to change it later, we can. I'm going to get 2 blocks of this. Patch this back up, and then I'm going to go up over here. Basically, you get an empty hand. And you, whoops, left-click the button. And what you should see, I'm going to turn off the X's, I think. There we go. There's fire in that. This guy is going. He is ready. I'm piping fluid in from the actual Tesseract. I decided just to keep the Tesseract, and it's right down here. I'm pumping fluid in that way. And I have, this is the actual battery storage. It's 2 vibrant capacitors for this entire system. And basically, this is going to start spawning zombies now. Now, there's a slight bit of, you see the sword hits, and they're walking this way. Now, let's see if we can time this right. I'll turn that off. Okay. Whoopsie. I need to actually, whoops, I need it now. Take this off because it does fight the vacuum box. Okay, so this thing normally would be the only source of draw, and I'm going to have to get another one of these and put it over here because this only covers 6 blocks. So basically this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This goes up to here. Actually, this might be enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if it's 6 out or 6 across. I think it's 6 out because if it was 6 across, it would be uneven. So it comes pretty far. The only thing I'm going to have to worry about is monsters getting out. Oh, that's a lit block. Monsters getting out back to this area, but there's a way to prevent this. Now, right about, no. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Had to find it. Let's put that back. And this back. This is an attractor obelisk. Basically, every time I get a spawner, what I'm going to have to do is turn it on real quick, grab one of those monsters in a soul vial, and put that in here, and then I can power it up and leave it on. They will all beeline straight for this spot that's pretty much in front of. I'm going to put another one right over here if I need to do more monsters. But as you can see, that is 4, 8, 12 different monsters. I can put another one here for another 12. And as soon as those things spawn, they start beelining this direction. And as long as I'm not standing down here with my item magnet, it will work just fine. And I don't have to worry. So what that means is I could do blaze spawners, and I don't have to worry about the blaze taking one hit and then drifting up towards the top. As long as I have one of their actual brethren bottled up and put in that attractor obelisk, they'll beeline right for the actual Killer Joe, which is perfect. Now, the next thing I need to do, this is another reason I need to get item conduits, is because I need to make an item conduit that's got a charge filter on it, so we can get it, cycle it back to here. When it gets charged up fully, we pull it back out and put it back in the system. Nice and easy. We could do one set of either item conduits, insert and extract on both ends. Really, really easy. I have this set as a activate with signal, and there is a line of redstone, insulated redstone conduit coming over here. And basically there is a clone of the wireless signal, the RF Tools wireless signal thing right down here. This is a cloned copy, channel number 1, of the same one that's just over off to the side of that spawner. Every spawner will have one, and then I can do a line right down here, which means as long as one of the spawners is receiving a redstone signal from a button up here, Killer Joe is also. But that also means that while the spawners aren't running, he's not running. It's a perfect system. I really do like it, and I'm hoping that you guys like the ideas on some of this stuff. Basically, this means I can start jamming these guys in, maybe one block apart from each other, as long as I have space for the actual conduits. I'm fine. So, it's real simple. This button is, you get this module and you right click on one of those wireless redstone signals, the receivers. And then you can actually get that signal, clone it over to another one for Killer Joe, and the button is working off of that one channel. So this button is set for wireless channel number 1. Right there, it says channel number 1, label zombies. And yeah, I can just left click and turn the spawner on. It's going, and I can leave it. No big deal. We'll have multiple spawners. It's going to be a heavy power draw once we get it all going, so I'm going to have to beef up my power output. 10 spawners will completely black out the power generation that I've got right now, which is 1600 and change RF per tick. So 10 spawners at 160 means I'm going to have all my power gone. So it's going to be time for a big reactor or something else. I'm probably going to start, by the way, you can see Killer Joe pulls in the experience. I'm probably going to start with a big reactor and then move on to something else. So it's going to be good. I do hate to keep today's video short. However, there are reasons for that. I've got a lot of things brewing behind the scenes. I have a video that has gotten claimed falsely by a music record label called Playground Music. If you're curious about the details, go to forum.vaygrim.com and you can navigate to the general forum. I've got a post, a sticky post on YouTube copyrights and claims and stuff like that and privacy. Go read it and, you know, chime in. Let me know what you think. Otherwise, I'm going to not bother you all with politics and behind the scenes nonsense. I'm going to perfect this. What I'm going to do between this episode and next is I'm going to pull out the entire floor and I'm going to make all of the spawners that I need. Okay. Which means I have to let this run for a while. So I'm going to make all the spawners, pull up the entire floor. In the next episode, we're going to go over the wiring. I'm going to show you how it all works. We're going to get it all laid out and it will be gorgeous. I'll catch you folks later. Have a great Monday. Bye-bye.